Humberlievable. Are you looking for a no-nonsense property and business podcast? Our mission is to provide jam-packed content straight to your ears, where we can add value and unpick the fluff in the industry. If this sounds like a bit of you, then strap in and hold tight for an episode with Heidi and Dan.
Hello everybody, thank you for listening to Humberlievable Podcast yet again. Hopefully we've got a really good episode for you tonight. We've got Jonny Brown, who's from Yorkshire. I'm from Lincolnshire, and we've got a Cockney on as well. What could go wrong? So stay tuned for an update on serviced accommodation photography and what that entails. And I'm hoping, because I've heard, Jonny, you've got some good stories to share with us tonight. So I'm hoping this one will be an absolute belter. So also it's on YouTube. So in case we do anything weird, we probably will go and watch that as well. So I'm going to start with a nice, easy question for you, Jonny. Who are you?
Hi everybody, I'm Jonny Brown from Jonny Brown's Professional Property Photography. So I started off about 11 months ago now, taking photos of houses. I left an estate agents to do this, and basically it just took off. It took off massively. I didn't realise how big it were going to get, and how much I'd be able to help people, like professionals with Airbnbs and serviced accommodations. But it's really took off. So yeah, that's me. That's me basically.
I really like the fact you've got professional in your title when you're not professional at all.
Yeah.
Depends who he speaks to, Heidi. I don't think anyone's professional with you, are they?
No, I think the first time we met, Jonny, because we met through, I think you emailed me and said, I do this because I'd run a PPN event. And I was like, I never actually reach out to any of the guests, which is really rude, apart from yourself. So I was like, I'll get you booked in, and then I could probably use services as well. And then the first time I met you, you came to one of my essays. I was stressed to fuck carrying loads of shit furniture, and I no.
Yeah, and I knew from that moment we were going to get on like an house on fire.
Yeah, I was just sat loitering on the stairs, like, what are you doing? and I did have a major rat problem in that one as well, which we'll probably elaborate on later.
Yeah, and we can tell everybody about the amazing reviews that you've had for it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all down to the photography, though. Yeah,
exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, everyone's saying that it looks absolutely amazing on the photos.
Yeah.
Is it a catfish? Fucking, their photos are banging and you get there. Fucking hell, don't look like this.
No.
I'm only
what
joking.
you went to, Dan? Do you know the
yeah.
one? So we did. So now, if people tune into that episode, we did a walk around of the essay just as I was setting it up. And,
yes, you did, which I need to upload.
Yes, we need to upload that one. Jonny took the beautiful pictures of it, and I had a review, and I was fuming. It was a proper shit review, an unjustified review as well, with a load of shite on it. And I should have done a disclaimer that we swear on here, by the way. And then the only thing they said was, it doesn't look anything like the pictures. And I was like, well done, Jonny.
Yeah, smashing.
I'll take that as good feedback. So, yeah.
Really good feedback. So what's your day today then? What do you do? Do you just do pictures of it? You do drones as well, don't you?
Yeah. So I'm day to day. One of my biggest clients is the estate agents and real estate. So as I said, at the minute I've got 12 agents that I do regular work for. So obviously for houses that are for sale mainly. But I got into the market of doing Airbnbs and serviced accommodations in about November last year. Someone just asked me, just off back really, if I could just come and get some shots for them because they weren't getting many bookings, and they thought it was because they took photos on the phone. And I was like, well, because I come from an estate agent background, I didn't. It's not something I've ever thought about doing, and I went and did them for them, and then they were just getting bookings after bookings because the quality of pictures were just so much better. People were picking their property out of every other one that were in area, and then it just had a knock-on effect. They told their friends, and it just went from there, really.
I think that's really important, just to highlight the fact that how just having amazing photos, I know we touched on it a few, Heidi, but having them amazing photos can actually, sell your product, sell your service, like that Airbnb, and how this person's bookings like essentially changed overnight. Now, a while back, I used to do like a state agency or self-employed agency, and you noticed the difference when you had good videos and good photos. And you know yourself, when you're even looking at buying properties and you see shit photos, you think, well, I can offer less on that, or that's not worth that. Do you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
just taking on your point, yeah, having fantastic photos can change or serve your business better, significantly better by having them.
100%. I don't push it on people to use me. I just push it on people that I'm trying to change the industry. So if I see like all your high street agents using shit photos, then what? How are you going to stand out from anybody else? You need to be using professionals, not just me. I'm not just saying use Jonny Brown's. As a general fact, it should come. You should want to give your clients the best quality service. Why would you not? You're taking the same amount of money, whether it's £1 million house or not. You're still taking your fees. So why not give each of your clients top quality product?
And I guess on that, the better photography, the quicker properties sell, probably for a higher price because they would create this pent up demand due to the photography. The better it is for the agency, because then they can charge higher fees because they say, we're selling properties X amount quicker. So in terms of from an agent perspective, it's worth them taking into consideration, like you say, whether it's yourself, Jonny Brown's, or another professional, depending where they are geographically, use this approach. Don't take shit photos.
Yeah. Half the time I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall. I feel like it should be so obvious. Why would you not? Why would you not? You won't go into McDonald's and see the shit burger pictures and think, oh, I can't wait to order that Big Mac. That looks absolutely fantastic. When burgers falling off at bun, and you know what I mean. It
don't look like anything like what you get served, does it?
I know that's what I'm saying.
That's the title of the podcast now.
It's getting it's getting people in the door. You know what I mean? I feel like it should be second nature that you use a professional for your photos. Why would you not? This day and age, all these high street agents who are still taking photos on their iPhone are gonna get left behind 100%.
So why do you think they are still doing this then?
Because in black and white, profit, innit? That's all they look at is profit.
What do you reckon the best types of photos are? So I look at Airbnb a lot now, and I call them arty-farty pictures. But there's things like you take pictures of the towels, the remotes,
bars and that.
Yeah.
And what do you reckon the best ones you had to choose?
Yeah. So I call them lifestyle shots.
Okay. No.
So
it's not arty-farty.
Not arty-farty. I don't know if that'd work. I might try it. I'll try arty-farty.
Try it. Give it a go.
Yeah. But I call them lifestyle shots anyway. But the lifestyle shots, genuinely, it's just them little eye-catching shots just to make you stand out from all the other adverts. That's what makes it look. That's basically what tells people you've put effort in and you've made them look professional. And so because you've done that from the start, then it builds that trust straight away, doesn't it? You know what I mean? You can tell people that you can tell that they've used a professional to take the photos just from them shots. A lot of people, anybody can take, well, I say anybody, but most people can take a shot where they put camera in corner and they make it wide angle and make it look 10 times bigger than it really is. But to get them nice little arty shots to make you stand out from everybody else, that's how you get your bookings. The competition out there is just horrific. You know yourselves looking through. If you just searched a postcode and you looked up at how many serviced accommodations are in that area, loads, and you're going to scroll through every single one until you get one that just catches your eye.
Definitely, and like I say, I've had it in the past where I was doing the agency stuff, and I had a photographer. We put our house on the market, and he come around and he did photos, and I just was not happy with them whatsoever. Like you look at your house and you think it could be marketed well, and the photos that came back, I was just like, they're shocking. And it was actually a professional photographer, to be fair, but property weren't his property wasn't his like big, because there's different, he does like more weddings and things like that. And
See, this is the big thing. I do not say that I'm a photographer, right? I've not come from a photography background. I don't go out taking photos of wildlife, trying to get deer looking fantastic. That's just not what I do. I come from an estate agency background. I come from a business background, and I take pictures that'll actually sell your product. So it'll either sell your house or it'll sell the fact that you're wanting to short-term let your house. That I sell the product. I know the visual ways to sell products rather than like I say. It's frustrating sometimes.
Don't you? You know what the end user wants because you've been in that industry yourself.
Exactly. So I'm not a photographer, and I don't do weddings.
Oh, you're going to get loads of bookings for weddings now.
Don't do weddings.
I'll tell you what you did when we met, and I was like, because I thought I did a banging job on some stuff, and then subtly behind me, he was moving the towels like fucking idiot, and like taking little shots of that, and like putting the lighting on was a good one. And then also what you did as well is I had a little bit of a meltdown when I met you because my table had not arrived. And I was like, for God's sake, I've specifically bought this table. And you photoshopped it in the picture. And it was an identical table. You'd never know. So you took them pictures of lighting. My favourites are ones where you take a picture of the mirror, then you see the background. I think they're cool. And then like the Photoshop the table thing. So the little bits like that you do, which is awesome.
Yeah, it's all them things what people don't see. That it sometimes does go a bit unappreciated, but I know that I've done it. Especially like you say, the ones where you're taking the photo with the mirror and then you've got to edit yourself out of it.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah. And then you've got I'd say with the lights, I think there were a couple of your lights I forgot to turn on, so I had to put them on in Photoshop. But
I don't think I had bulbs in, to be fair, mate.
Oh yeah, they didn't have bulbs. Yeah. I knew there was some. I knew there were a reason why. Yeah, and you wonder why it got so many good reviews on that property.
Yeah, well they still don't have bulbs in.
But they have on photos.
Look lighter in the photos. Yeah, look lighter in the photos. Last guest fucking robbed them.
Oh, I've had that, like bad serviced accommodation. But as well, when you was like, we'll make the bed, we'll unmake the bed, we'll put the towel here, we'll unmake the towel here. And I was like, fucking hell, this is quite...
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you saw on social media yesterday, I was supposed to do 8. I had 8 student accommodations yesterday. I only ended up doing 7 because one of them were full of students. They'd moved in too quick. But all other ones were empty. So I did 7 student accommodations yesterday. They were all 6 and 7 bedrooms each, and I did them in a day yesterday. And I had to go around making every single bed as well.
Fucking hell.
There's also something as well. So I get dead excited because you're on. You said to me once, "Would you like me to turn up with orange juice and croissants?" I was like, "What?" And then they do them little shots, and I'm like, "Very fancy."
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's just them little added things, but I know it works. Just sometimes you go to some properties and it's people tend to. I mean, not your properties. You love vibrant colours, which is amazing. Yeah, I love it. But I go to some properties and it's just magnolia and grey and white and
can't polish a turd sometimes, can you?
Yeah, so sometimes I've got a little box what I have in back at van that's got like fake plants and blankets and yeah, I take croissants and orange juice. I've got a fruit bowl with fake fruit in it.
Ooh.
So like just them little things make a massive difference. It really does. So you could have like a boring room and you can just brighten it up just with that little bit of colour, just a little bit of something.
Definitely.
You start doing a 60-minute makeover.
Yeah.
Transforming the property, then taking it all out.
Get a tin of Dulux out the boutique yard, but like it's an hour slapping on feature walls, like.
Yeah. Oh God, imagine. What's been your worst one you've been to? Are you allowed to slag these off?
I think I am now because some of them were like when I first started out.
Yeah.
I did one recently. I was talking to one of my agents actually before I come on here, and I was like, I'm not going to mention that property we went to last week.
You'll have to.
Because it's too soon. I can't honestly, too soon. When it's sold, if you invite me back, we'll talk about it. But when I first started out, one of the worst ones I went to, I think, was it tends to be kitchens. I know people live in these houses, and you've got to live in. I understand, but they know I'm coming. They know I'm coming to take pictures, so you think they'd tidy up a little bit. I went to one, and it were horrific. It were only time where I've ever phoned. I phoned it were tenanted, and I phoned the landlord and I said I can't do it. The kitchen were like Jurassic Park. It honestly, we just like jam jars with mold growing in them and
Disgusting,
banana
isn't it?
peels on the side
Oh,
and
really?
horrific, absolutely horrific. But yeah, but I'd take that any day over the one I went to where after I'd finished, she asked me to do a boudoir shoot with her.
What, there and then?
You still got the
There and
photos?
then, there and then. No, I just quickly pretended my wife were ringing and ran out. No, I didn't really. But no, honestly, I've been asked so many weird things. But yeah,
Did you do the shoot?
I didn't do the shoot. No, I didn't do the
You
shoot.
could have got some extra work out of
I'd
it.
have been like, yeah, I'll 250 quid for 5
Yeah, it would have
photos.
been. Get
Yeah.
back on the sofa.
No,
Yeah, innit?
no.
Where's your dungeon?
Oh, that's
Oh.
creepy. Was it the
Yeah.
person selling the house?
Yeah, it was a person selling a house. Yeah, but the house, like when I was walking around it, had already got like boudoir shoot, like pictures of her all over. I've been to quite a lot of houses where there's some dodgy pictures up, and I've had to Photoshop them out after. And yeah, that's like where like pictures are in with no clothes on and stuff. And
No, it would
oh
do
yeah,
What, like the owner having
yeah, the owner,
themselves naked?
yeah, walking around the house and there's pictures all over him with no clothes on.
That's
100%.
I haven't even heard of that.
That is a bit
Never
weird,
heard of
isn't it?
that. Yeah.
That was proper
I've seen it in
weird.
films, innit? But I ain't seen it in real life.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah, what type of films? Yeah, not them ones.
like in bedroom where there's pictures of different sex positions on wall. Yeah.
Oh God! Do you need like a little risk assessment before you go into these houses now?
Well, I always ask my clients like what I'm looking at, and I just presume they don't know. To be fair, till I get there, and then it's yeah, you just look round and you're like, might have to Photoshop that dildo out, or like
Put it in the fruit bowl. Put it in the fruit bowl.
Put it in the fruit bowl, yeah.
All of the podcast still doing the fruit bowl.
Aubergine.
Yeah, but no, some people, I don't know how they live like they do. I'll be honest. And
Some tenants that are, you walk in the kitchen on an inspection, you got to fucking climb a pile of dishes to get to the bathroom, and you just think, how do you live like that?
That's all right. We had a naughty tenant yesterday. I was going to Harrogate for the evening, and locked himself out of his bedroom for like the 14th time. We have an emergency lock as well. So he's lost all of the keys to the emergency lock in his bedroom. And I was like, I'll drop kick you. But I've had maintenance in his room. Not pictures, but I might send you there, Johnny, for a laugh. Just he's unconscious on his bed constantly. I'm like, get up. Why are you nearly dead? What's wrong with you? So anyway, I can imagine some of the stuff you've got into.
yeah, they were the one when I first started out, and I used to do EPCs as well. I still do EPCs as part of my package, but I have assessors who work for me. Nah, I ain't got time. But I used to do EPCs as well. So I did photos, and I went back to do the EPC, and they told me there was it was just a young lad who were renting it. So it were absolutely fine to go. I went, knocked on the door, went in, and the kid was just like half dazed. I couldn't understand what was going on. It all seemed right weird. And then I went upstairs into the bedroom, and they were I don't know if I can say it right, whatever. They were like a crackhead just laid on the floor. So I had to step over the crackhead who were laid on this floor. No bed. Just laid in the middle of the floor. No bed.
Photoshop him out.
Like a joint next to him. Yeah. I made it look even better than I did. Like honestly.
What a wizard.
And But early days, it's one of them. When you're starting a business, I used to say yeah to anything.
Yeah.
Like, and I think you do, don't you? You kind of get in that where you don't know when next paycheck's going to come in, so you worry a little bit, don't you? So you're like, I'll just say yeah. I'll do them.
So that
Even though I
boudoir
know
one then.
I didn't
Going
say
back
yeah to
10
boudoir.
years.
I didn't say yeah
Going
to
back 10
boudoir.
years then when you first doing the agency stuff, or when you first started that.
Oh yeah. Go back when I was scraping for it. Yeah, I might have said yeah, but no, I'm kidding. My wife's gonna listen to this, man. You need to calm down.
Was that a tenant in situ then? Literally.
Yeah, literally.
Tenant in situ. Fucking hell.
Yeah. So yeah, honestly, it's not. I know, like on Instagram and stuff like that, I post all beautiful houses that we go to, and it looks so glamorous. It looks like such a glamorous job, but it's hard.
Same as property investing, I guess, isn't it? It's
yeah,
fancy on the top, but it's not. It's not all of it.
It's great. It can be grim.
Yeah.
Same as our podcast, fancy on the top.
Yeah. If you listen to it, it's fucking grimy, isn't it? But no. But with regards to like obviously what you're doing with Airbnbs, I guess predominantly at the minute you still have relationships with agents, so I guess if there are any agents out there or people looking at using your services for Airbnb, what would you say that sets you apart to some of the others? And if you were to walk into a house to take photos, I know you touched on it earlier, you've got some props for that, what is it you look for, or what do you think little tweaks people could do in order to sort of spruce it up?
Yeah. So one of the big things is, again, if it were me that were going to take these photos, I do it, and it's just generally tidying up. So like bathrooms and things, getting rid of toiletries and stuff.
Get rid of skin marks in your toilet, whatever.
Yeah, I do it. I do it because I know what people are looking for. Even sometimes little things like if they've got ugly cushions, take them off. They're not going in picture. I don't care what you said. They're not going in picture.
Can I just ask you a question? Because I was going to do a post on this, and I've nearly got a cushion. Do you know when you have a cushion, when people like karate chop the middle bit?
Oh yeah.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
Why do you do that?
I don't know. I
tend to smack the sides like I'm banging the drum like that fucking monkey, just to fluff them up a bit.
I don't get that.
Thank God.
I've got a couple of investors as well, who have got a lot of service accommodations, and they literally throw the throws. I don't know if it's because that's what they read on and thought it were instructions, that literally a throw, you just throw it on bed and that's it. That's it. You just leave it like that as though it's just all a mess dangling off. But I've got a few what do that, but they do it on purpose. Like that's how they want it.
Launching.
Like I've gone to neaten it up and they're like, no, what are you doing? Like, I don't want it like that. And you're like, oh shit.
It's weird, isn't it? What little sort of things that people do. And I had one before, so I did a flip recently and sold it on, and we had a cleaner go around, and it was before the photos, so the clean had happened, agent had gone and taken the photos, and when I seen the photos I was thinking, what the fuck is wrong with that carpet? Right? And this cleaner, instead of like doing Hoover lines, like the normal triangular look like backgammon, they'd use the fucking, what is it, like the little nozzle bit, and just done this all the way across the carpet, Have you ever seen it before? And I was just like, some fucker's gone over my carpet with a lawnmower, and I was literally like, what is going on here? And I saw that on like, that was part of the marketing package. I was thinking, I can't fucking put that online. Like, I just never heard of it. Apparently it's like some fancy thing that people do, and I thought, no chance.
Was she writing a name in it or what?
Like, she wrote a fucking novel, mate. The amount of lines in that carpet.
That might have been a name. Where was she from?
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, it was fucking... I was just like, nah. And I messaged the builder. I was like, mate, what's going on with that fucking carpet? Is it alright? And he was like, yes, how the cleaners do it. I was like,
oh God.
Couldn't deal with it. But yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Like little things.
Yeah,
like...
people have these little things. Like I've moved things before and they've gone like looked at me funny and gone,
Don't touch my
no,
dildo."
that needs to be that needs to be in shot. That's what'll sell my property. Like
The dildo in the
the
corner.
10-inch dildo.
Yeah. You probably get plenty of viewings, but nothing after that.
Yeah.
You know what else winds me up as well? I've seen like, I didn't realise how much I hate stuff until I got into property. But like people who put serviced accommodation pictures up, have a professional photographer, and still don't iron the bedding. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Iron the bedding, and then they quite chop the pillow. Oh,
not gonna lie though, I've done a few where I've photoshopped it like neat, where it's had creases in it.
Can you actually do that? What a wizard, mate!
Yeah.
Booking you forever.
Yeah.
It's not going to lie in it if you're going to.
Some people just ain't got time, so they're happy to pay that little bit extra for me to Photoshop it to make it look nicer.
Nice,
but it's not lying. It's not misrepresentation. It's just the fact that they just didn't have time to iron it. So you've showed the bedding as ironed. Just like it's not misrepresentation
it's just never
when you Photoshop a table in.
I tell you what, I could just not clean a house, not iron the bed, and just have you come round and wizard it all up.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, but then you have a guest go round, wouldn't you? And think again.
What about me?
Yeah, you'd have a guest go round and they'd be like, "Wait, the bed weren't creased on photos."
Yeah. There's a table here.
Where's the table gone?
Put my coffee down, spilt it. There's no fucking table.
But you had a lovely IKEA plant there.
Yeah, exactly. But it's mad what you can do. Like I used to virtually stage stuff. I'd pay
I do that.
280, 300 quid, and some of it looks like shit out of real, and some you could think that is a bit of a virtual image. But again, you virtually stage, and it's interesting that you say that because staging sells properties way quicker,
100%,
at a higher
100%.
asking price.
You shouldn't be.
If you listen to the stats,
shouldn't even see empty properties now. Shouldn't even see them.
No, we're way behind in the UK market. Like if you look at Australians and Americans, people spend like 15k staging, and it sells the hours for like hundreds of thousands of pounds more.
Oh yeah. So I work with a company, VMR. She does all the real life staging for me.
Yeah.
She's wicked, and honestly, it sells the houses because, again, what's in the pictures, people turn up and it looks like the pictures, and the feeling that you get is the same as you get from the pictures, because they do such a good job. And again, even I know the empty. Sometimes there are empty properties that I do virtual staging, and even that, it catches people's eyes. Even if it gets them just in the door, it'll catch their eyes. If they're looking at an empty property, they'll just move on to next.
100%, 100%. And what I found as well is, well, I'm not very imaginative, so if I need to take down a wall to put a new kitchen in, I can't imagine what it looked like until that wall's down. And a lot of the people are saying they can't. Yeah, I'm fucking.
That surprises me actually about you. I thought you'd be good at that.
No, I just say take it down. I've got no fucking choice. I have to make it work because it's not there now. But yeah, in terms of the staging, like when you go into a house, you don't get the feel of that house. You don't get the feel of that property, the size of that property, unless there's furniture in it.
Yeah.
Because you think, can I get a double bed over there? But if someone's got a queen size or no already, you don't have to imagine. And it means that you're focusing on the actual beauty of the property itself as opposed to what fucking table you're going to put in it. But
yeah. And I always put a disclaimer on bottom of photos I do anyway, saying it is virtually staged.
Yeah.
I have to now because they look so real. You do look at some and think, wow, that's awesome. And a lot of people are like, oh, does it come with furniture in it? And like, it's not really there.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
It is. It's
not on our Airbnb, because I've had people book it, turn up and go, oh, it's in Hull on Newland. Oh, and it's like, but the pictures are pretty and the house is pretty. It's just in a shit area.
The thing is, though, like, it's a shit area for some things, but Newland Avenue, it depends what clientele it is, but you're right at the bars, cafes. It's a vibrant area. It is a good location, and you're not far from the city centre. So if you are going to be looking at doing stuff like that, then you're going to want to be around in the thick of it, aren't you?
We've got. I mean, Sheffield's bank same. It's exactly the same. There's areas that aren't so nice. They've got bad reputations and things, but they're on doorstep for such nice bars, clubs, restaurants, and yeah, It's crazy. But you get that everywhere, and there's reputations everywhere, and
I
yeah,
uh,
it's
I remember I went to Liverpool once. I can't remember what part of Liverpool it was to stay in an Airbnb. There's like 6, 7 of us staying in it,
You did well
and
to get out. Well done.
honestly, I was earlier than all my mates. They were coming up late in the day. I drove there and I pulled into the street, and it was like down the street, and then I'd have to turn right into the one we were staying on. There was like fucking park full of kids on bikes, like 4 riot vans, police cars, sirens going, and I was literally like, I have to get around this to go down the street where I'm staying. I was like, fucking hell, where am I? I thought I was in the middle of some gang war or something like that. But you still get people stay there. The photos
yeah,
look good.
yeah.
And it weren't a bad house.
And it were probably like 150 quid a night or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Um,
It is what it is. It still attracts people. I went to Liverpool recently for a stag do, and yeah, we stopped in like an Airbnb, and that were mega expensive, but it when we got there, it were a shithole. I'm not gonna lie, it were horrific,
yeah.
and
Great night out, Liverpool, all right.
yeah, it were good. It were a good weekend, but you still get people, but it depends what you're looking at. If you want in return custom in it, that's your thing. If you want in return custom,
Especially if people are on contractual work. Like, say they might get a 6, 12 month contract to work somewhere, and if the contractors like your place, they're going to want to stay somewhere familiar and keep going back to your place,
oh
innit?
yeah,
And
yeah.
that's important.
That I think from my perspective, I know you're experts. I'm a photographer. I'm not an expert on Airbnbs and things, but
Me either.
from my perspective, I think the contracting market's the biggest thing for getting them 6 weeks, 6 months. Yeah, that's what it's all about. That's the market you should be looking at.
100%. So Johnny, you said you've been in business, well, doing the property photography. Was it about 14 months now, did you say? But you
10 months.
10 months.
10 months. Yeah.
What's I suppose we best talk some stuff business, give some people some value in that respect. What's been your biggest challenge, would you say, since starting, and what were the hesitations that you had,
You're not
going
allowed to say
alone?
big.
Biggest challenge. When I first started and I first set up, like getting anything out of estate agents were just impossible. I got doors shut in my face constantly. So I set business up in about 3 or 4 days. I set it up after I literally just up and quit my job. So I literally set it up in about 3 or 4 days. Come up with a logo, Vista printed some business cards and flyers, and then I just went out going visiting all estate agents. I first tried all top high street estate agents, but they literally just didn't want to listen. They didn't even entertain it, didn't even take my card. It were pointless. It were always we've got an in-house photographer
Yeah,
who does it, and I were like, I've done my research, like that's why I'm here. They just didn't care, so just slammed door in your face. And then so I saw the market for the self-employed agents. I think they showed more passion. They showed the passion, and you could see that they put the passion into their work, in the they were wanting professional photos. They were marketing it themselves. Even a lot of the agents who do the videos where they're actually walking around properties and introducing the properties, you could see that personal touch. What all the big companies that I'll not mention, the bigger companies, they just don't
no.
care, and just them not caring about that. That's just the start. What else don't they care about? They don't care about the clients. They don't care about the tenants. They don't care. It's just a knock-on effect, and that's why I think that they'll get left behind, if I'm 100% honest. The bigger companies.
I agree, and I think they are. And like I said, I did a stint of being a self-employed agent, and the company I was working under the license, like they had some of the top agents, the videography, so the owner as well, the videography, like sometimes they got a 10 grand marketing budget once and flew a helicopter in, and then had like sports cars and all this drone footage around these like fancy mansions. And unless people are doing that caliber in terms of marketing properties, they will get left behind. I think high street agents, unless they adapt to this style of marketing, then they will get left behind. And it's when you think of companies, it's a company. everything is personal brand now. You look at the top people and the top names, even like when Steve Jobs was at Apple. Steve Jobs was a personal brand at Apple, but a lot of these agencies don't have it. And I think that, people need to, or these agents need to have individuals that people know of, because everyone wants a personal touch.
That's what it is. And what I always say is people buy from people they like.
Yeah.
And I think that's I know like I'm blowing my own trumpet, but I think that's why I've come as far as I have. Because genuinely, within 5 seconds of me meeting you, you will like me. Whether you like it or not, you will. And honestly, people buy from people, and I push that to all my clients. I say you need to get in front of camera. You need to people will buy from people they like, and you need to get yourself in front of the camera, because all my clients are likable people anyway. It's just that they just don't show themselves enough to see, and that's where they'll fall into same categories as every other estate agent. So yeah, that's what it's all about.
100%.
Yeah, definitely. I think the first time I met you, you carried 2 cupboards for me, and now once or twice got you at an event talk, and now you're on a podcast. So
exactly.
Going all right, isn't it? Yeah.
All from one email. All from one email.
Yeah, because normally I shit you not. Normally I ignore them and go, but because
you reached out to Heidi, yeah.
I actually PPN reached out to me and asked me to be a speaker at the events. If they could put me on their list of speakers. So I said, yeah, that's fine. I just needed to sign something or something, and then I needed to select areas what I'd cover, and so I selected the areas. And I remember seeing as well, I thought Humber, so I googled it. I was like, I know Humber Bridge, but I was like, I'll just Google it just to make sure like what area it actually is. And I saw it's Hull, and I was like, yeah, I'll go there. Well, it's not too far. And then so I literally selected Hull. I selected a few others, Manchester, Sheffield, and so forth. But Heidi got in touch with me from that, and she just said, just out of interest, how much would it be to do me this Airbnb? I was like, all right, yeah, like get straight on it.
Yeah.
I need a booking, sort this out, because I cost I paid a fortune, because I told you, didn't I, in real life, I paid an absolute fortune to have some done in Lincoln, and the caliber of like professionalism that you showed was like, this is much better, much easier to get on with you. The fact that you go to the properties on your own, give you a key code, you get in, you do what needs to be done, even if it's not completely finished. That's just like, yes. And then I think I've recommended you to millions of people as well in the area, so you'll have to move here now.
Yeah. Again, I don't mind traveling. That's one of the things I love seeing different places. I love being out and about. I worked in insurance claims for 12 years, like stuck in an office, like arguing with people about aircon. You know what I mean? So to be able to be out and about now, and just in my little van, going about and seeing different places. I know I'm having to branch out because the volume of work. I'm looking at I'm taking on apprentices and things at the minute, so I'm just interviewing people. But I'm having to branch out because I can't be a million places at once. But it's nice that I can come and do the occasional one in your areas and things. But my objective as a business and as a businessman was to build this as a brand. Like my name is the brand, and I'm building the trust within me, and then everybody who works for me, I will make sure that they're on the same level as me, quality wise and general banter wise, that
nice.
they get on with people like me. I wouldn't take anybody on who wasn't like me. You know what I mean?
I think that's important. There's many like national companies where you go onto a portal, tell them what else you are like want a photo of, and they outsource to 2 or 3 photographers. It's basically like Uber, but for photography. And then they send you notifications, say, can you go do this? And that's where I had bad experience where the photos were shite, and it's because they just reached out to a photographer in that area, and having the quality. And I suppose that one of the biggest challenges for you will be is making sure that quality stays consistent, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. But I can teach anybody to take photos like I take photos, and it's just that I can't teach people to be nice people. So that's how I see it. If you're a genuinely nice person, I will teach you to take photos like I take photos, and you just go and be your genuinely nice person and do the job. And I know that that's how it'll work.
Perfect.
Sounds a good. Well, Karen.
I was going to say, like, what's the next 12 months looking like? You touched on The Apprentice there. Jonny Brown's the brand. Like, what's the next 12 months looking like for you?
Yeah, so minute I'm pushing out to West Yorkshire. We're pushing out there.
You sure? Do you want to go there?
So I've got a guy who is pretty much like me, which is wicked, and he's really enthusiastic. He's got a bit of a photography background, but not too much, because that's another thing. I'm not a big fan of photographers. It's not. I don't really want your wildlife photographers and things. That in the business is really selling the product, which is the houses. That's the main thing. So I want people who are enthusiastic and are pretty much like me, pretty chilled, can get on with people, approachable, and so yeah. So I've met this guy. He's over West Yorkshire way. He does come over Sheffield way and help me out a little bit. But I want him to have West Yorkshire and be able to sell this, well, give the same product as what I do, more over this way, over that way, and I ain't got to travel that far. I do that sometimes. I go to Leeds a lot, but I want him to be able to branch over that side, and then I want to try and get some people branching over the other ways, like up your way, just so I got to travel all the time. And over the Nottinghamshire way as well, but yeah, it's still early days. But where I am at 12 months is where I'm probably even past where I actually saw myself in about 3 years.
That's awesome, to be fair.
That is cool.
Yeah.
And do you see yourself having like a Jonny Brown studio, let's say, in Sheffield, and you can have like people come in and be like, you know, £100 or however much money for a session to be part of Jonny Brown's and pay a license fee to, you know, trade under you, so you're getting a monthly income for all these license fees. You give them all these tutorials, a week training, and they can go out there and trade under your brand and build it that way.
Like a franchise.
Yeah, or like license model. Is that how you're going to do it?
That could be a way of doing it. It's just it's the whole having the control that's the issue. I'm quite wary because it is my name, and it is something that I've built up, and I've put a lot of passion into it as well. So I think I'm too close to it to sell it, to like sort of like dice it up like that.
Yeah.
At the minute, but maybe in the future if things change. But I like the idea that the business model that I've built up in 10 months, for it to get, like I said, 12 estate agents, numerous property investors, because once I shoot one of their Airbnbs, they want them all doing, they want them all redoing, all the ones they've got, they want them redoing, and so yeah, to have built that up in such a short space of time, I feel like I could teach that business model all around country, and people could potentially do what I do.
Oh, get that line. That's a little income, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
if you don't mind, Jonny, I asked the audience, like Les Dennis, our survey says, ask questions. If you could ask a property photographer, and I don't like that word, anything, what would it be? I've got a few questions if you don't mind answering them.
Go for it.
I'm not going to lie, some of them are proper shit.
The first Q&A.
Oh.
Give us a chance. But
First Q&A.
I thought you were just going to say that off air. I weren't going to say, oh.
No, they're some of the most random things I've ever heard of, and some of them are slightly boring, but we'll see what happens.
Cool.
One you've half done anyway, to be fair. This one, what's your focus in life? And I don't know if that was very photography lensy terminology, and it was quite. I don't know.
Yeah,
That's clever. That
there's definitely there's a pun in there. There's a pun in there.
I feel like they got ChatGPT to write that question. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't know if it was smart or I was smart. I don't know. But what's your focus in life?
My main focus in life is my family. If I'm going to be honest, yeah, I've got 3 kids and a wife. So yeah, my family's my focus, and that's what I do this for every day. You've got to have a reason.
Definitely.
And yeah, they're the reason. They're the reason I get up in the morning. They're the reason I do this.
Is it because they're noisy or is because you like them?
Yeah, they get me up in the morning. Yeah,
physically, yeah,
physically, yeah. But yeah, I'm doing this. I'm doing this to build the business, and hopefully make them proud as well. Like make them proud that I weren't one of them who just sat in that dead end job, like making money for someone else, and I took it by the balls and went for it. Where everybody else just sat, I just did it. I went and did it.
This isn't one of their questions, it's one of mine, because I am going to be in a similar position soon. How did you have the balls just to leave your job and go, fuck it, and then 3 days you've got a new business? For me, I've been working on it for a couple of years. Frightened, but like, what the fuck? How did that transition happen?
Don't know, but is your employer going to watch this podcast?
Well, maybe.
It might make things easier for Heidi if the decision's taken out of her hand. But I've been on the other side. I've left, done the self-employed model for a period of time, and then I've just recently gone back. So for those listeners who don't know, I now work full time again. Yeah.
So Jonny, enlighten us, because we're going to pass on that ban. That'd be very interesting.
Yeah. It's just something I was wanting to do. Someone once told me that you can't make any money taking photos. I said it was something I wanted to do, and someone told me you can't make money doing it. So I just said, "Fuck off! I'm doing it." Look at me now.
Look at me now, bitches.
I guess the thing is for you, like you said earlier, is obviously there's so many people out there say, if money's the only focus in business, you're never going to make it. And it's like, as true as that may be, but you still need to make fucking money in business. Otherwise, you won't be a business.
Yeah, 100%. How I look at money, I look at money as it. That's what's gonna build. That's what's building my business. So I don't look at money as like, oh look, I want to be a millionaire. I just want to make the money that builds the business to the point that I want.
Yeah.
So I want the money has to come in.
Cool.
Otherwise, I won't be able to.
It's a vehicle to accelerate your growth,
to do it tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. If I didn't get paid today, then I can't do it tomorrow. So I've got to charge for producing the product in order for me to build this business that I want to build. So,
but what makes you that money is customer satisfaction, meeting people like Heidi and getting on. Which is, some may say, more difficult than others. But
if I can win Heidi over, boom,
yeah, fucking hell, you're done.
Stop.
Yeah, but yeah,
sky's the limit.
I'm happy with anyone, mate.
Exactly, and you got a good product, so that's what's driving your business, isn't it? Which,
yeah.
And like you say, the money's a byproduct, but you need it anyway.
Your timescales as well are fucking insane. I think you can around in 24 hours, and I was like, fucking hell.
I do. Yeah. I think that's what works massively. So yeah, 24-hour turnaround. So yeah, whether I'm doing 7 properties that day or whether I'm doing 2 properties, 24 hours you'll get your pictures in 24 hours.
How do you find your balance? Because that day you did 7. How do you find your balance doing that? Because obviously your family's your biggest focus, isn't it?
Is there a balance? Have you seen these bags? My glasses cover these bags up.
It's only 21.
Yeah, I'm only 21. That's how it happens. Yeah.
Sometimes you've got to, you just got to fucking That's why you're doing it, innit? For the kids.
Yeah. And yeah. There's days where I've had days where I've left at 8 o'clock in the morning, got back at 8 o'clock at night, edited till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh my god, really?
Got back up at 8 o'clock, gone back out. Yep.
Oh, you're a mad bastard.
It's rough. It's not easy. It's not easy. But I think if there's something worth having, it's not going to be easy, is it?
No,
That's it.
not in the first years. This might lead on nicely to the second question. If you was a superhero, yes, legit question, what superpowers would you have?
Oh man.
Very photography related and property related.
Yeah.
Super skills.
Super editing. Yeah, to be able to edit quick, fast editing skills.
Like that.
Like Superman did. Like when you used to see it, and he used to be typing like right fast, and that when he was Clark Kent. Like,
Well, you could have
Take
like
photos without visiting the property, so you don't have to travel. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
like teleportation skills. Like
yeah,
Yeah,
oh
that's
man,
Interesting.
yeah.
That was
'Cause
super editing.
Travel can be the thing, man. I did cottage recently for Tom, who comes to
gonna say, was it
PPM.
Tom's?
Yeah.
Whitby?
Whitby, yeah, that were a trek. That were a
Fucking
trek. Yeah. I knew it were a trek when I got onto a road with no cars and just sheep. I knew that's my limit. I'm not going any further than that.
Why don't you say, if I do you a photography shoot in a weird area, I have to sleep in it for the night?
I've had it. I've had that. I've done Airbnbs and people let me stay there once I've done them. Yeah, I've had that. Yeah, I've done some cottages, and yeah, I did some cottages, and they let me bring my family, my kids.
Oh wow!
We stayed between
Don't touch
Christmas
that,
and
just
New
fucking
Year.
make the bed.
Yeah. I
Take
took
photo of that,
pictures.
don't touch it.
I took pictures first. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I took pictures, and then me and my family stayed between Christmas and New Year.
I feel like a shit
Yeah,
client
but wicked.
now. I feel like I need to up my game with you as a client.
That's all right. You offered to put me up when I came over to do the
I
PPN.
did actually, but staying at my place a little bit shitter. So apologies.
No
That's
cottage,
all right.
is it? But
as long as you roll towels up on end of bed, we're sweet.
You don't get a towel.
And there's light bulbs.
as long as there's light bulbs and tables You need tables and light bulbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not photoshopping them in your house.
I fucking love that table. I pride and enjoy that Airbnb table. £99 Amazon, just to let you know. But anyway, third question. Weird as fuck, this one. I nearly worked it out, then I couldn't be bothered. If you had a penny, not pound, penny, every photo you took, would you be a millionaire?
No.
Well, it's a fucking shit
Not
question.
one of these
That's
click
just-
happy thingies. I've had an idea whilst
That's probably
we were
1,000 pennies.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone asked me actually. I'm just going to see if there's any more whilst we're on there.
Well, I've got some questions, but it was just ignited now, and I think this might be something that we should carry on actually. So you'd said, I wonder if they just went on Chat GPT. So what I've actually done, whilst we're on this, I've gone on Chat GPT, right, to say
What
what
questions
question
to ask her?
would you ask a property
Yeah,
photographer?
yeah.
So I thought, right, let's see what comes up. So you don't
Oh,
have to
man.
answer, but I just got to throw some out there because I think this would be quite interesting to do going forward, Harley.
That's cool.
So as a property photographer, you may want to ask questions, blah, blah, blah. So are you skilled in editing and retouching property photos? Can you enhance the images to make them more appealing?
These are technical.
Can you offer
yeah.
additional services like virtual tours, drone photography, floor plan creation, or boudoir photos? That last one I added on.
Mate, epic.
I'll pack
Epic.
them once.
I like that.
Oh, they're very technical.
How do you handle client input and feedback during the photography process?
That was not an interview.
I ask them for feedback and they don't get it. Isn't it weird? Like a thing with feedback. Honestly, I have people who absolutely could suck me off. I've done that good a job, but then they say
I realise I'm married.
I'll leave you a review. 100%. I'll leave you a review. Like and no review. No, never.
Reviews
Never.
are like pulling teeth, aren't they? We
Yeah.
should do a separate episode of some fucking no reviews.
Unless you
Review the
fuck
podcast,
up.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't happen, is it?
Yeah.
You like shit.
Leave a review, please. Yeah. But yeah, the review thing's mad, isn't it? It's weird. People will go out of their way to slag you off if you've done a bad job. They will absolutely go. They'll walk over out cold to tell you that you've done it. Tell everybody you've done a shit job, but you do an amazing job, and no one wants to tell anybody. It's weird. What a weird thing.
It is
I know.
weird.
The British way, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gave a review. I think. Did I?
You did?
I'm sure I did.
Yeah, you did.
I gave a review because it's hard to get a review, but
No, it was just because you didn't want to suck me off. Them were options.
the two options. Dan's like,
yeah, I'm like, do I need photos?
Do I need any photos doing?
I'll leave a review for sure.
I was gonna say, yeah. Make sure
the other option.
You've got Google up already, haven't you?
Like, last one. This one's technical. Fuck knows what the answer is. You'll know, I hope. What wide angle lens do you use?
I use a 10 to 22
millimeter. Sounds good.
Yeah. I shoot with Canon. If anybody who's technical is listening, I shoot with Canon. One of my things, I put a post up earlier. I don't know if people who's listening are going to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, but I'll just put that plug in there anyway. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, jonnybrowns.com. Boom. But yeah, I put a post up earlier, basically just saying that. What were we talking about? I've totally forgot.
Camera lens.
Question. Yeah,
10 to 22. That's it.
Yeah, sorry. So I put a post up earlier saying that when I started 10 months ago, I didn't have a penny. I had nothing. I had absolutely nothing. I quit my job with nothing. I've got a supportive wife, which is amazing, but I didn't have any money. So I had to do jobs to buy all my equipment as I went along. So I bought my first camera after doing a few jobs, and then I bought the 10 to 22 millimeter lens after that. That was the next thing I bought. And then I bought the 50 millimeter lenses, and I just kept building my thing up. But all the equipment I've got it's the cheapest equipment that you can get that will do the job. It isn't expensive equipment. I've had people come to me with £10,000 cameras, and they still can't take the kind of pictures what I take. You don't need expensive equipment to do a good job. You just have to have a little bit of an eye and knowledge and know how to take the pictures. Honestly, I spent £300 on the camera base. I think it was £280 on the lens. This is second hand. I know it is more expensive new, but like I say, all in all, I think I spent about 800 quid on camera equipment to get me started with the camera stuff. And you don't need expensive stuff. Fair enough that to move to the next level, depending where the photos are going, like if they're going to go in magazines and things, then yeah, you might have to just spend that little bit more. But you don't have to spend a lot of money on equipment. You really don't. People have this idea in their head that they've got to buy a brand new Sony AS7 and a £4,000 lens because that's what will get them pictures. What I get, like it'll
take you a lot longer to make your money back and all, won't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's mad. People have got this thing in their head that they've got to spend money on equipment. It's equipment that gets the pictures. The only thing that I will say is I've just bought the new DJI drone, the new DJI Mini Pro 3, and yeah, you do if you do spend that little bit more.
Spend it on a drone.
Spend it on a drone. Spend it on the drone. Don't bother with camera. That drone does everything. It is immense. Honestly,
someone showed me some footage on a drone. They're professional, like videography company here in Hull. They did set at Bridge Spa, and the fucking quality of the camera from how many ever hundreds of meters away onto an object. I was just like, how the fuck does it do that?
It's unbelievable. The new cinematic ones, I know they're really expensive, but I think they're about 1,800 quid. But they get the shots. But the DJI Mini 3 that I've got, the Mini 3 Pro, you don't need a license with it either because it's under 250 grams. So that's something you're saving on. You haven't got to pay to have your pilot's CAA license, and it's an absolute game changer. But I've got to where I am now in 10 months using the cheapest DJI Mini, the first one. So all the videos and pictures you've ever seen with a drone, I've done using a. You can get one second hand for about 150 quid. Right.
Wow.
No, didn't work. Good effort.
I sneezed. I tried
you
muting.
you've
Did that
muted
not
yourself
work?
now though to talk. That's awesome.
Crikey.
Have you done this before? No. And you're still muted.
I know. It weren't unmuting.
Oh.
There was a lag. I literally click mute, and I fucking sneezed, and then it muted me after the sneeze, and then it lagged and wouldn't take me off fucking mute.
Not
So
gonna
for all
lie,
those people listening,
I would have
sorry, guys.
expected that from Ida. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, she's the technophobe. It's me. I'm supposed to be the tech guy, and I can't fucking mute myself.
I'm blowing himself out the podcast. Oh
Keep
dear.
that in. Sorry, guys.
Right.
That was a big interruption.
Right, I'm back in the room now. Jesus. Right. Johnny, is there anything else you'd like to say that we've missed? Any inappropriate sneezes you'd like to contribute?
No, that's it. Like I said, one of my big things is just be yourself in it. Just be yourself. Do what you do. Oh look, Dan, she managed to mute herself while she coughs. How amazing was that?
I had feedback from a previous podcast from my husband that I cough and sniff and piss people off too much. I was like, I'll try and work on that.
Yeah,
I'll try and not
I can
exist.
work on 2 out of 3 of those things.
Yeah.
And terrible job of that. And
Yeah.
stop swearing. But
Well,
anyway,
I need to learn to mute when I sneeze. Like I said, I was just a bit slow.
you just sneeze less dramatic for a start.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so we're coming to the end of the podcast. Honestly, it's been probably the funniest one we've ever done, and I knew it would be because you're a legend, proper Yorkshire legend.
Yeah,
But massive thanks for coming on. We're going to ask you
That's
your
cool.
sort of promo handle, how we can find you loitering in Sheffield at any point. But we've started to do a little charity shout out now. So just give charities a bit of promo. Have you got a favourite charity you'd like to sort of speak about?
Andy's Man Club. I don't know if
Good
you've
one.
heard
Yeah,
of that. Yeah,
massive in Hull as
So-
well.
Is it? Yeah. Well, it's massive in Sheffield. I think they've grown all over. So my best friend actually took his own life, sadly. So it's close to my heart. So yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
sorry to
sorry.
hear that.
Yeah, sorry to
Cool.
hear about that. So
Amazing
for anyone who doesn't know, Andy's Man Club is they actually have a female side to it as well, don't they? As well, I do believe they've set up that as well. So for any male or female who are experiencing, any problems, any issues, reach out to them, and they have supportive network meetings, people you can reach out to all the time to help, don't they? So
Yeah, they're brilliant, and yeah, just basically saying it's okay to talk. Honestly, it really is. The whole stigma around mental health is massive, and I'm a big believer. And I even said to people, even if you don't know me, drop me a message if you're worrying about or you found yourself in a dark place. I'm not a stranger. Within 5 seconds of talking to me, you'll know that you can talk to me. And honestly, I'd rather you talk to me if you have a problem. And if you can't talk to me, like I say, Andy's Man Club is fantastic. They do absolutely great work. So
Awesome. Thank you for that. And thank you for sharing that also.
that's cool.
How do we find you? Apart from loitering in Sheffield, where do we find you?
So my website is jonnybrowns.com, or you can find me on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn as well.
Awesome. Thank
All
you very
over.
much.
we'll share that in
So-
the show notes anyway. You send the links across, we'll put them in the show notes so people
Oh,
can
wicked. That's brilliant.
find you easily anyway.
Thank you for having me.
No, it's nice for you to come on. Thanks. It's been good.
I'm sorry I couldn't say any other stories. There are worse, but I signed an NDA, so.
It's all right. No
Really.
worries.
Fucking hell, the fact they've had to get NDAs in for you not to sign stuff.
Have you stopped the recording or can you edit that?
Humberlievable. Thank you for joining us this week. We hope we added value to your day. Stay tuned and see you next time for another Humberlievable episode. See you next time.